Welcome to Gen is Us podcast, where we dive into the dynamic world of generational conversation with your host, John, the baby boomer, along with Jessica, the millennial, and Joey, the Gen Z. Okay, welcome to Gen is Us, episode number 2. Okay, this podcast is where we dive into generational topics.
Yeah, generalized.
Yeah.
Say that 10 times.
Right. I'm John. I'm the baby boomer.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're a baby boomer?
Yeah, I think it's between the...
Wasn't that like World War II?
No.
No, seriously, that's
I'm not that old.
No, I mean like
your parents?
the category of baby boomer.
Even my dad wasn't in World War II.
No, like not necessarily like in World War II, but like post World War II, like everyone started having babies.
Yeah, post.
Yeah, I forgot what the age is, but I'm considered a baby boomer because the end is 64.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like either 50 something to 64 or 40 something to 64. I was born in 61, so you guys do the math out there.
Okay, that's
You're fucking old.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Hey, but I still have
still got it in you.
still got it in me.
You still got it, yeah.
And I'm not that old, man.
No, it's really not that.
Right. I mean, the new 60 or the 60s are the new 40s.
Okay.
Right.
No, it really is though.
Right.
Because the age is expanding.
Although there's some people that are in my age group that do look really old. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like,
That's because brown don't crack.
brown don't crack.
Yeah, when I'm your age, I'm probably gonna look decrepit.
Well, yeah, because
You're gonna look like the tomb.
Yeah, you're white and pasty.
Crypt keeper.
But you know what? Here's what I recommend for.
He's already looks like a ghost.
I know. This is what I look like. This is what I recommend for a Gen Zer: is go into the sun and get a tan.
I do.
Like every day.
But like right now I can't. It's like winter right now. It's like fucking London outside right now.
He doesn't tan though. He burns.
Oh, you know what? If he stays in
Do
for
you
like.
burn?
No, I tan now, but it hasn't been sunny though. So it's been like London outside.
Hey, did you hear that story? It came out like weeks ago of a body that they found in a tanning bed,
Oh,
and it
no.
had been there for like a couple days, and he was pretty charged.
Wait, he?
Yeah, I think it was a he. Yeah.
Was it like a LA tan or like where the fuck?
I don't
was
know.
he?
I don't know. I don't want to really say who it was, but apparently there was it was a foul smell that came from one of the back beds, and then I guess they found a body.
Was it in the U.S. or was it?
Yeah, it was the U.S.
What?
Yeah.
I did
You
not
know,
hear
in
that.
Europe, unless you're from England, you're going to be pasty white regardless.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you're like from a Latin country, you don't need tanning beds.
True.
Right. So.
Yeah. And I'm Jessica, and I and I'm a millennial. Oh my god.
Really, Joey.
Oh, it's my
And
turn?
Joey is.
And then my brother is the burps.
Yeah, I'm Joey.
And you're a Gen Z.
I'm a Gen Zer. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a lethargic Gen Z.
And this is a show that pits generations, and we talk about all sorts of topics that affect the world, and we put our own insight into it. Jessica is my daughter, and Jessica's Joey is her brother. You guys figure out the math.
Yeah. So my mom is also Joey's mom, who's also my dad's.
Who's also a cracker.
Oh my god. Are you allowed to say that?
We had interracial.
Yeah, I can say that.
Interracial.
I can say that.
Yeah, I guess.
So yes. So So today's topic is one that's kind of dear to all of us because we all went through it. Everybody in the world has gone through it.
I wouldn't say deer is the right word though, for me at least.
Yeah, Joey has
You had a deer in your car or something?
No, it's just continue. We're going to it.
So today's episode is called School Days, and we are going to reminisce about our grade school, our high school days, and kind of give our own insight and our memories regarding our experiences growing up in at that time. So
I didn't agree to this topic. I just want to let everyone know.
All I gotta say is at the end of this episode, FBI, just hear me out. That's all I gotta say at the end of this episode.
God.
FBI. All right, so I guess I'm gonna start because
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest. So
by far.
yeah, my school experience. Okay, and I gotta preface this by saying, okay, my parents were from Mexico, and so when I was growing up, I had a language issue, trying to understand it and all that. So my parents threw me into grade school, and I had a tough time because at that time where we were living, it was Villa Park, and the grade
Illinois.
school was
Illinois.
Villa Park, Illinois, and it was a parochial school. Should I say the name?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
It's like a Catholic school.
Oh, you said Catholic school.
You went to a Catholic school too.
I know, but
so it's a parochial school.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
I just say private.
Private is
or Catholic.
Yeah, Catholic school. Okay, so it was a Catholic school, and it was called St. A's in Villa Park, and I had a rough time. Now that's just grade school. High school, completely different animal, and I'll go into that a little bit. Grade school was really tough because again, there was a language issue. People, when I was in the school, I was like the only Hispanic, and so they really kind of did not like me. So the sister and mother, Mary, Teresa, whatever her name was, I kind of forget. She had a mustache and a golden ruler that had my name on it. And every time she saw me, she just had to take it out of her desk and put it on the side, and she was ready for whatever was going to happen. And so I was spanked quite a few times.
Like butt?
Oh, yeah.
Or knuckles?
Butt, hands. Yeah. At that time, there was no, the teachers going to jail or whatever yeah, at that time it was completely.
I think that was pretty common in.
It was common, yeah.
Catholic schools.
So yeah, I remember going to the what do they call that when you go to the main office or whatever. I was spending a lot of time there because I was always getting into fights because I was always trying to I guess live through the pain of going to school there.
So was this like kindergarten through like 8th grade?
No, it's kindergarten through 6th grade.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I ended up going to military school for 3 years after that.
Tell the listeners why.
It's a good story. Okay, so I want to kind of cover like the years before that because I don't really want to climax too fast.
That's what she said.
But basically,
that's what he said.
My mom used to come to school probably once a week and take me out of school. Yeah, and my mom didn't know English. And she didn't know how to drive. She basically taught herself how to drive. And
is that like safe? Just drive around with no like knowledge.
She was driving a horse and carriage.
Yeah, you're talking about the late '60s, early '70s. So there was really no okay. Look, I'm going to pull you over and give you a ticket for not having a license. But I think she had a license already. She had gotten her license, learned. My dad taught her how to learn how to drive and all that. So. I mean, for the most part, though, we did walk. I mean, I remember one year there was a snowstorm, and it was like 7-8 feet tall of snow, and we had to walk through it to go to school. And it was tough. Me and my older sister who passed away, me and her both walked hand in hand, and we walked to school. It was tough. So anyway, going back to that, the teachers thought I was retarded because
You can't say that word.
Okay,
yeah, you can say retarded.
You boomer.
Yeah,
you can say retarded.
Yeah, so the teachers back then saw that I had a speech impediment and a learning disability, and it wasn't a learning disability. It was basically
you needed like ESL.
Well, at home I was speaking English, and my parents spoke Spanish to me, and I understood it. So if you kind of take the two and you kind of in your brain are trying to figure out what's going on, and at a young age like I was trying to figure it all out, and you can't really figure it out at that young age. So I was getting in trouble because they thought I was not learning things and I wasn't learning fast enough. So I was always the teacher's,
Whipping post.
whipping post. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I remember so many times, like I said, my mom would come to school and I was like under a desk hiding, crying because the teachers were trying to, inflict, maximum damage to a young,
Oh
eighth
my God.
8-year-old or whatever. So it was pretty traumatic. And then at one point they thought that I, like I said, was behind by a lot, and so they put me in a special education class, but it was at somebody's house. So my mom had to take me to school and then walk me to this person's house to learn, I guess, to get more learning or whatever. And she was she had polio, so she was always bedridden. And I would go there and I would let myself in with my mom, and then my mom would leave and then come back about an hour, 2 hours later. And the only thing I remember about the teacher was she was pretty hot.
Oh my God.
But didn't she have polio?
She did have polio. She did have polio because she tried to get up one time and she dragged her arms.
No.
And the only thing that was lifting her was her legs were like flopping on the floor.
How do you remember all this?
I don't know, but I do. I mean, it's absolutely true. I mean, it's one of those things you never forget. You know what I mean? And I remember that. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened afterwards.
Well, maybe she probably figured out it wasn't that you were stupid or had a learning disability. It was that you had a language barrier.
Yeah, I mean, when you have.
And also back then, they didn't have any resources.
Right. Well, the only resources was a polio teacher in her house.
Who was apparently hot, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how that's possible. Oh, I guess.
The only thing I wondered at that age is what happens if the stove gets on fire and the house is.
Well, how did she get to the stove?
She didn't. I'm like, she's screwed. I mean.
Did she have somebody else living with her?
Huh?
Did she have somebody else living with her?
You know what? I don't remember that. I really don't remember.
Also,
that.
Isn't it completely fucked up? I would never just drop my kid off at someone's house that I didn't know.
Well, I think it's because it was through the church or the
school. That
school.
makes it better.
It doesn't, but I mean, my mom and dad didn't really. They were probably fed up of going to school every other day or every other week and getting me out of detention or whatever the hell they call it. I remember, what do they call it? The convent, like the convent area, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be there sitting, just waiting for my mom to come get me or whatever. So anyway, that was a really traumatic time. I mean, I really don't remember learning anything, to be honest, back then with the polio teacher. I do remember learning some things. And I think you're right. I think she at some point said, this kid's not, stupid or whatever. It's like there's a language barrier issue.
So did you go the whole day?
No, it was only for a couple hours. It was only for a couple hours. It wasn't the whole day, but
it's like piano lessons, except
right. And I actually, what's funny, because I had accordion lessons also when I was a kid. My parents put me to learn the accordion. I'm like, I was going to be one of
Mexicans.
I was going to be a mariachi with.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Accordion and my mariachi hat, but no,
awesome.
I remember taking lessons for about a year, and I couldn't even begin to play.
You're like, accordion. This is a nerd instrument.
I'm like, hey, if I ever go into a polka band, this is it. That's what I'm going to do. But, I didn't know what a polka band was. So that was I'll tell you one story. I do remember when I think it was in second grade, there was this girl. Her name was Diane Miller. I don't know why I remember that, but she left an impression in me. And so I took one of my sister's rings and I gave
it. You?
Huh?
Did she stick her finger in your butt or something?
So
what the hell?
Yeah. So she was like a, we were in second grade or whatever. I liked her, and so I started. Yeah, it was like puppy love, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I took a ring from my sister or a necklace or whatever, and I gave it to her, and some kid took the ring or whatever and started making fun of me, and he kicked me in the nads, and I fell down. And I started crying, and that was pretty much it. I never saw the girl just laughed at me, and that was.
Well, what a whore! Because like,
she was only like
a stupid
she was like
ass bitch.
She was like a second grade.
I don't give a shit. So that's foreshadowing that she was gonna become a fucking whore. Oh, because no. Here's why. Because you were trying to do something nice, something very cordial and polite, and you get kicked in the nads because of it by some douchebag. Oh, bro, and then she's gonna laugh at you. Like,
that's
no.
Kids are kids. Like,
No, I don't care. That's foreshadowing because same shit happened to me in elementary
Joe,
school.
do you think that she's like a walking whore now down some street?
No, what happened is that she's now probably that, and then
she's probably in a retirement home now.
Okay, and
oh my god, that's where you should be.
Okay, and whoever kicked in the nads is probably the biggest flippin' douchebag ever because the same shit happened to me. They both suck. That's both the human condition. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so that happened to you how?
The same shit, where you try to do something nice for a lady.
Did you a lady or a girl?
Oh, okay, or a girl, whatever.
How old were you?
How old were you?
It doesn't matter the age. All across the board.
Was this like a couple days ago?
No, not in a while. I'm
was
just saying.
Like 2 and you were like, what, 20?
Okay, no, hell no, what the fuck? No, hell no. I'm just saying, growing up in elementary, preschool, middle school, high school, the same shit. Where, oh, you're stupid because you want to do something nice, so fuck you, and
Kids are bullies, man.
They are, dude. People are still bullies. They're bullies for the rest of your life.
You know what? Back when I was growing up back then, it was probably 10 times worse.
Oh, I'm sure.
And especially if you're, a Mexican or whatever, and you're not, you're different from everybody else. You're not white, and you're not, you know what I mean? So I had that situation a lot, growing up. I mean, I was bullied. I kind of set the precedent for my brothers and sisters. Me and my sister, the oldest.
Terrible precedent?
It was a terrible precedent, yeah, because you know what? We went through growing pains with the school and the kids and the teachers and all that. So it wasn't a good thing, trust me. And I remember.
Why did they continue to keep you in private school, knowing you were all having issues?
Because that was that was the only school.
Was it because of the Catholic thing?
Yeah, well, that, and there was no other school. They didn't want to put me in public school. They wanted to put me in.
Why?
That was their thing. I mean, that was my parents.
Because they're
they wanted me to get a good Catholic education, and
how good can it be if you're getting whipped every day?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good education.
And then you have to go. You can't even go to school. You have to go to someone else's polio's house.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm not trying to make this religious, but again, it kind of goes back into that double standard Christian mentality of like, it's either this way or this is the only way. This is the only way. You have to be under the house of God in order to get an education.
Yeah.
But it's like, but why is Christianity getting influenced in education? You're just learning the ABCs for fuck's sakes.
Well, you're talking about a generational thing, okay?
Yeah.
Because
people still believe that nowadays.
Things have
a lot of
gone.
Catholic schools have gone kaput.
Yeah, and you know what? And if you're from the South, because they want to stick Bibles and
up your ass,
say the Our Father in public schools, which I don't know if anybody knows the Constitution or the amendments, but there's a separation of church and state. That does not exist in today's world because now they want to put, religion in public schools, which is wrong.
So it shouldn't be a thing. It should be separate.
Right.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, so then what happened after polio?
Okay, so after polio, now, obviously growing up in that situation, there was so many things that happened. I remember me and my sister were playing around in the house, and I bashed into a side of a wooden couch, and I cut my eyeball. All right, and
not your eyeball.
Well, the
your
top
eyelid,
but my eyeball was coming out of it.
The fuck?
Right, and so my dad took me to the hospital, and they stitched it up, and they poked the ball back in, and so I had to wear sunglasses because my eyes were very sensitive. Yeah. So I had to wear sunglasses for a long time. Boy, did I get hammered at school. The kids started calling me like Sammy Davis Jr. and
What?
yeah, and also not Sammy Davis. Was it Ray Charles? So it was pretty bad. So yeah, it was nuts. And so like anytime
I would feel
something
like any kid that wore sunglasses to school would look like a fucking rock star.
right, but it wasn't. Well, remember I was Hispanic and I was an outcast. You know what I mean? So there was no diversity, and I think diversity started happening a little later. But I mean, heck, I remember when I was a little older. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. My dad, my house was being constantly bombarded by shit bags,
What?
and people would throw bags of shit at our door. So the one incident I remember,
Why?
because they hated
they're
Mexicans.
assholes. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
there was a lot of prejudice back then. I mean, nowadays you don't even think about stuff like that. But
No.
back then,
Well, you do, but
it's kind of different.
yeah, it's different.
I mean, nowadays, back then it was nuts. I mean, every time our house was always being bombarded by shit bags or just stuff being thrown in our yard or whatever. And my dad made a good living. He worked for the Indiana Harbor Railroad, so he made a good living, and we had a nice house and stuff like that. And
Tita didn't. She's at home, right?
my mom was a stay-at-home. Yeah, she took care of the loads and loads of laundry that came out of
7 kids
7 kids
and
yeah.
2 adults.
2 adults, yeah. So it was, yeah. I mean, we didn't have any pets. The only pets we had were, I think I had a goldfish, a couple goldfish that,
You cooked up and put
No.
in your empanadas.
no, we had food. We had food, but no, yeah. So one of the incidents was we just came back from school, and these kids were following us. They were a little older. They were on their bikes, and my dad already knew to expect these kids. My dad took out his 357 Magnum and was ready for them. And so when they came by, they were about ready to throw a bag of shit at our door. My dad took out his gun and shot it into the air.
Nice.
And so these kids just ran for it. One of them broke his leg.
Good.
Broke his leg, and they never
Getting hit by a car.
Right.
Holy shit.
Right. And we never saw them again.
What about the shit bags?
That never happened
Good
again.
stuff.
That was it.
So those 2 little fuckers.
It was more than that. I think it was like 3 or 4 of them that hung around each other and stuff like that. But yeah, we never, after that, never saw them again. You know what? Nothing says stay out of my property than a 357
Yeah.
Magnum. So they were scared out of their minds.
Good.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that was like.
Yeah, I don't think that can happen anymore.
No, that happened. Well, they used to have, in Chicago, they used to have the shot spotter. That doesn't happen out in the suburbs. So, I mean,
Shot spotter.
that's when if somebody shoots a gun, the police are called right away to that area.
Oh.
But the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, decided not to have it because he's just a douchebag.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think that saves lives. But what do you
Right.
do? But anyway, so getting back to my whole story of going to school and stuff like that. The biggest traumatic thing was from 7th grade to the first year of high school was I was involved in an incident with a kid. We were tussling over my coat, and he wanted to just screw around with me, and he wanted to take it. Well, we got into a fist fight, as much as a fist fight could be at that age, 6th graders. So the teacher tried to take it away, try to separate us, and I was cocking my arm back to hit him, and she got in the way, and so I ended up clipping her in the face. I don't know if it's a complete hit, but I hit her.
Elbow?
No, I think I hit her somewhere between the jaw and the chin.
No, but like your elbow because you were going back? And...
No, I was like that. I was cocking back and I went forward. And so I kind of hit her in the somewhere around.
You meant to.
Yeah, well, no, I meant to hit him, but she got in the way, trying to separate us. So I ended up going to the convent or whatever, or the rectory. That's what it's called, the rectory. So I ended up going to rectory, sitting there for a while, and my parents were called, and then that's when my mom and dad were told, I think your son needs to go away somewhere. So my parents, I don't know if I got suspended or just it was ready for summer or whatever, they looked into military school. I ended up going to military school for 3 years.
Ugh.
Yeah, and now that's a whole completely different story. It was school in Indiana, Le Mans Military Academy. I learned a lot of stuff growing up.
Is it still there?
No, it closed. It closed quite a few years ago. I think the only brother, because they're called brothers, not priests, but the only brother I know that's still around is brother Sean Gray. He's still around, yeah. But it was going to school there was. I mean, I could write a book about it because that's where I learned about gay lifestyles. I learned about drugs. I learned about just all sorts of things. I mean, yeah. I mean, one of the stories, because Le Mans used to ship. Well, they didn't ship them, but they had a lot of advertising to like international schools. Mm-hmm. So Mexico had a lot of students to come to that school. And I remember one of the students, it was a bunk bed. I was sleeping in a bunk bed. And I think the kid's name was Fernando. He was on the bottom or the top bunk. No, I think he's in the top because I was in the bottom. And I got sick one night, and there was this guy who was like 18. Oh. We were all like 14 years old. Okay. He was like 18 or 19. He was a lot older. He had like flunked like twice or whatever. But his parents had lots of money. So they kept him on there. His name was Mark. And he was...
Mark Rubio?
No, allegedly. No, but Mark, he was a lot older than everybody else. And apparently he had a gay fetish. So we all knew that about Mark. And so I had a cap gun that I either got or bought, or I don't know, I forgot. But I told him, hey, because I had to go to an infirmary. I was sick. I said, if this sick fuck comes, here's the cap gun. Just shoot it out, and people will hear it. Yeah. If he comes to do anything. Because
you were saying this to your bunkmate.
Yeah, because we were all everybody was afraid of the guy because he was a lot older.
Did you guys have to share like where you slept at
night? Well, we had bunk beds, so we had like one room, and there was a bunk bed. And there was only two per room. Okay. So yeah, so he was on the top, I was on the bottom. Apparently, Mark started going up the side of the bunk bed, and Fernando, I think his name was Fernando, I forgot, but I mean it was a long time ago. He saw what was going on. He had the little cap gun with them because I told him, hey, if this guy tries anything, shoot it off so everybody hears it. Sure enough, he shot it off, and he was scared to death. He ran out. I think he broke an arm or whatever. And
there's a lot of people running away from your area, breaking limbs.
Right. So then after that, I think he was kicked out. But he had been kicked out a couple times, or he was suspended a couple times. But I think this was the final straw because he was.
Well, did he actually like diddle, or he just?
No, I think. Well, the story goes there was a hill that we had at the school. And he was doing, stuff with some other kid, and they were caught one time. But yeah, it was.
Well, if he was 18 and the kid was 14.
Yeah, 14. So there was a little, But yeah, so that was my one of a couple incidents. Now, high school really wasn't all that bad for me because at that time I had kind of been seasoned, to all the stuff that was going around me. And I remember one time in high school, I was a class clown in high school.
Oh, yeah. You don't say.
So I...
Where'd you go?
I went to St. Francis. No, I went to Glenbard South in Glen Ellen for 2 years. And then my last year was St. Francis. And then 1 year was at military school. I was the first one, one of the first ones in my class at the military school to go there for the first year of freshman
high school.
Year. Yeah, first year of high school. And then after that, they put me in Glenbard South, but things got out of hand at Glenbard South because it was very violent and there was drugs and stuff like that. So my parents took me out of there and put me in...
In Glen Ellen?
In Glen Ellen, yeah. It was a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on around there.
What?
At Glenbard South, yeah.
It's like the whitest neighborhood now.
It is, but it's still, I mean, there was still drugs and stuff going on. Police were there all the time.
Really?
Yeah, Glenbard South, yeah. But back then... I mean, the worst thing I think I did was like I got into it with one kid and I threw a milkshake off the ledge, and it fell on him on his head.
Oh my god.
That's the and it was kind of funny. But other than that, those 2 years were like nothing exciting. My senior year at St. Francis was pretty exciting. Funny thing is, St. Francis didn't even have my picture.
I know.
Because I came in, I guess, late.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't take a picture or whatever. But I was the class clown, and that's what I was voted, funniest guy or whatever. And
wait, so they transferred you 3 times?
I got transferred 3 times. Yeah. Exciting stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was. I mean, my life has been one roller coaster, and it really all started with, when I was a kid. I mean,
tracks.
Yeah. I mean, being beat up by nuns, and and then I remember when I was in the gymnasium, we had to climb a rope to the top. I was a chubby little kid, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, they don't do that shit now.
Yeah, and so
me, yeah, we had. But I was good at it though.
Well, yeah, you're
I don't
thin,
think I
white.
had to do that.
Yeah, you never did that?
No.
Oh, well, yeah.
Unless I repressed it.
Well, there wasn't like when I did it with me in elementary school. There wasn't like a pressure. Like if you couldn't do it, if you couldn't do it, then it was fine. Like you weren't gonna get verbally accosted.
A demerit or something.
Yeah, you weren't gonna get degraded. It was just like, okay, we'll try again, or something like that. It wasn't like you're a failure. It was like, okay, next person, like it's all good,
Right. Okay, let's move on to. I took up too much time.
That's fine. We don't have to. We can do different episodes, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If it goes a little bit over 45, I say who gives a shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Right.
So I feel like I repressed a lot, to be honest. And
Same.
I don't know if it's just I have a bad memory. I don't know if things were like off at at home, but I like a lot of the memories I have are people telling me stories about me. So
So you're suffering from amnesia.
No, it's a repression. Like I just don't remember. I think I got bullied a lot too.
Yeah.
And then, because I also went to private school in Glen Ellen and was
say the name, St. James.
St. James, and I was chubby and Hispanic, and I think I also had a speech. Well, my mom told me that I had a speech delay because I was growing up in basically 2 separate households with mom speaking English, and then, with you and Tita and Data. So I call Tita and Data as my grandparents. Yeah. I couldn't pronounce abuelita.
Abuelita.
And so I just said Tita, Data. That's why I called them.
Yeah.
So because my parents were divorced, I grew up in basically 2 separate households, and so I had a speech delay because I was speaking Spanglish basically at one house and then English in another. And so I also had, and back then, even in my generation, like they did not have resources at all. So like Catholic schools, no way. They wouldn't. Yeah. They would just have to deal with it the best they could. And so I was always in the remedial English class, remedial math, because it was. But yeah, I just don't remember a whole lot. I remember getting teased, and I don't know, like a lot of so I went K through 8th grade. And at St. James. And so like the kids that I started in kindergarten with basically were the same kids that I went through the entirety of my grade school life. And so that's really difficult because you can't really shake anything so for my first communion, Dita and my Aunt Beatrice dressed me up in this ornate homemade dress. Oh yeah,
it's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
And
wait, which one?
That one
right there. That's her first communion dress.
And the night before my first communion, my Aunt Beatrice thought it was a great idea to perm my hair. Mm-hmm. And I wake up in the morning and this is without asking my mom. My mom had never had any opinions about anything
Right.
with me.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the morning, they take the curlers out, and it looks like I'm fucking Annie. And I had tears in my eyes,
That you were
crying.
what?
Like I was Annie, like the big afro. Because
Annie?
she permed my hair the day before the event.
I'm trying to get a Annie who?
Annie the musical.
Oh,
She has
does
an
Annie
afro.
have a perm?
Yes, she has an afro.
So
She's
you
like
had red hair?
No, I just mean like the
style, the
curly
hairstyle.
afro-ish, yeah. And so I was.
I don't think Annie has an afro.
Look it up.
She had curls. She
Look
did
it
have
up.
curls.
Okay.
Yeah, I was devastated. And then on top of the hair, and putting me in that dress, which everyone went gaga for, and I say
It
everyone,
was kind of a pretty
the
dress.
guys.
Yeah.
And I call the guys my aunts. It's the cult family that we have. And this fucking dress had a hoop skirt,
Right.
and it was so itchy. And yes, it was
Ornate.
It was ornate. It was handmade. My Dita made the dress for, I think, one of my
you were gonna
aunts.
say it was haunting.
No, it was haunting. It fucking haunted me throughout the rest of my grade school and into high school. That's what I'm trying to get at, is like, that's one of the memories I have, is like waking up in the morning, have this afro, put on this crazy ass dress, and then, having my first communion. And, it wasn't easy for me, because I felt always like an outsider or like an outcast, because of all of these family things that your family decided to do to me. And yeah, it was. So anyway, that picture of me at my first communion, they fucking made fun of me. Like, teachers would make fun of me and bring out that picture. Yes.
I don't remember that.
In like our eighth grade like yearbook, they fucking put that picture in there as like to make, yeah. And in high school, like, people brought it up and stuff. And then
How many friends do you still have that you talk to
from grade school?
Yeah. Any?
Like, actively? No, I don't think so. But I mean, like, I follow them on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a few.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I looked up some statistics. They said that Gen Z or millennials do have some friends that they follow on social media, but contact-wise, not really. Now, millennials, it's even worse. They don't.
Gen Zers, right?
Gen Zers, yeah. They don't even have. They're like 40% less than us. I don't have any friends that I know that either they're dead or they don't want to be found. So yeah. So.
Well, okay, so Daniel is in between.
Yeah.
Because he's
a Gen X.
He's Gen X, yeah. And he still has.
That's your husband.
Yeah, my husband. Sorry. His best friends he's known since like first grade.
Oh wow.
Like, and they're all still friends. And I mean,
that's kind of an oddity.
Well, is it? According to your research, it's in between. So.
Well, he's a Gen Xer, so I mean, I think the statistics are that they have about a little bit more closeness, than millennials or Gen Z. Yeah.
Well, then what it's really odd is because I went to a private grade school,
right,
and then I went to a private high school. I went to St. Francis.
St. Francis.
And so I would say probably half, or maybe a little less than half. And like we had small classes. Like I don't know how many kids were in your like grade school going up.
I think grade school is very small.
Yeah.
So high school, it was also small because it's St. Francis. Well, when I graduated from St. Francis, it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
But Glenbard South, lots.
Yeah.
There's lots. Yeah,
because I think we had in our graduating class at St. James, so in 8th grade, we ended up having like maybe 27 or 28 kids. And so like maybe less than half of those or half went to St. Francis.
I'll be honest with you. When you were going to school, I didn't really like St. James.
Why did you? I didn't either. Why did you keep me there?
My family.
Okay. Yeah. See?
Because remember, I was, we were divorced, and they wanted you to St. James.
To keep me close.
Well, that.
To keep me close to the family.
You sound Italian.
I know, okay.
Yeah. But, it was a hard situation because I didn't really have a say as to what school. I would rather you be put in public school. But, that really, my parents were like, I was living with them. And I even, here's a funny thing. I had a motorcycle back then, a Harley. And I had to sell it. Yeah, I had to sell it so we can keep going to school.
Even though you didn't want me to go.
I know. That's one of the regrets I have. But yeah, it's All right. But did you have more fun in high school? Or?
So here's the thing. Like looking back, I was a cheerleader. So that is a completely different ball game. I feel like, and I loved it. And I had a lot of really good friends doing it. But people talk about their high school, like Daniel, they talk about their high school experience like way different than I do, honestly. Like I can't remember my junior year of high school at all. Senior year was a lot more fun, obviously, because you have the hope of like moving forward. But like freshman year was rough because you're just getting used to like going from the same group of kids you've known for 9 years and then going to a way bigger school. And why way bigger? I went from like 27 kids to our graduating class was like 165. So, to me, that you expanded my world a lot, but it still was such a small like culture, and it was it was like I don't know. It was I didn't love it. And then when I talked to other people who had like public high school, like they had so much more opportunities to do stuff like
but don't you get lost in a big school like that?
I don't know, Joey.
Joey,
it's not my turn.
Did you get lost in school?
It's not my turn yet.
I'm done.
No, it's not my turn yet.
It is. Hey, it's your turn.
But Jessica, do you have more to say though?
Huh?
That's it.
The thing is like there was nothing very significant. One, because I feel like I was always felt like an outcast being Hispanic and being bigger boned. I was never very thin. And looking back now as like in my high school years, I was so fucking thin. Like I would give anything to be that thin now. But look, in the moment, I always got made fun of for being fat. Like in high school.
See, I don't see that because I remember you being popular.
I was
in high school.
Semi-popular, but like I hardly ever dated. Guys seriously made fun of me. Like I got.
Well, you had a bad incident in high school too.
That was freshman year.
Yeah.
And then, but I ended up like, it was just such an odd. I think because the world was so small at Francis, it just was it's weird.
Yeah, you didn't have that
ecology of.
Yeah, you didn't have that public school experience.
And you had like really fucking rich kids.
Yeah.
Going.
Right.
And we weren't like rich by any means.
Right.
And in fact, I got a scholarship because you went your senior year to Francis.
Right.
I got a scholarship going into my freshman year. Yeah. But like you had really fucking rich kids, and it was always very materialistic.
Right.
Like you always had to wear like Coach bags or Louis Vuitton or have like those stupid ass Chanel like hearts.
And that's a Catholic school, and
yeah.
So it's like you kind of don't think that
but you have to have the money to go. You have to have the money.
Oh yeah. Every year was like $9,000-$10,000.
And then everything else, like all my cheerleading and everything else was like thousands of dollars. Exactly. Like anything else that you did had to be extra money. It wasn't included like a public school.
Right.
So I don't know. I have lukewarm feelings. It wasn't horrible, and then on top of it all, the Catholic stuff. So like.
Joey.
Okay, so we've been doing the theme where we start from chapter 1 to chapter high school.
Well, that's it for today's show.
No, but seriously though, like we want to start from chapter 1 to chapter high school, right?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Well, however you want to start. I mean,
Well, you went to Jefferson, right?
Okay, so I guess we'll start at preschool. I actually have some memories from preschool. I went going to Jefferson.
Really, preschool?
Yeah, like not a lot of memories, but
Did your teachers change your diaper?
no. I just remember like certain very specific memories. I got along with. I actually had some buddies in preschool and everything. It was fun.
Some buddies?
Yeah, because it was preschool. It was easy. It wasn't. Everyone acted,
Well, you know how old you are at preschool, right?
pretty young.
Right.
Actually, I do remember Joey like having some good friends, mostly because you were in like a special needs group.
Yeah, so I was gonna get into that, but
I mean, I don't mean to laugh. It just
no, it's not.
I
No,
said
you
that.
can, but
Oh,
no.
that was like me and the polio chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I okay, so in like the early years of my education.
By the way, I got to say something about the polio chick. The only reason I had agreed to go like another, because it was like 2 years I think that I went.
Oh
The only reason I wanted to go second year, she had some nice
knockers,
right.
Weren't you like in 4th grade?
I was in 5th grade. I think. No, yeah, 4th to 5th grade. Hey,
Oh wow.
a young man knows where he's going at that age.
That's gross.
Okay, so back to Jefferson.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Well, yeah. So the early years of my education. I mean, this continued forever, but like especially in the early years, my parents knew that I had deficit problems. So yeah, I was on the short bus definitely in kindergarten. I think 1st grade too. At least the beginning of 1st grade. I mean, it's still true. I still have problems, but like I've come along. I'm allowed to say it. I've come a long way.
But I think the difference was that the environment you were in,
Yeah,
like
it was a lot better
they
than what you
had
both.
so many more resources.
Yeah,
Like,
even though it was
so
like
much more.
yeah, it was the genesis of all that. Like
Yeah.
it's even better. It's like a million. It's still better today, but like even then, it was the beginning of it. We're like, okay, we should give kids a chance to actually, become something.
And not everyone learns the same.
And not everybody learns the same.
It
Exactly.
doesn't mean you're stupid. It
Right.
means-
Right. It's like with me, it's like I'm kind of not as talented and smart in certain areas, but in other areas, I'm pretty competent. So it's just
What areas?
we'll get into that later. So yeah, but anyways, like the early years, yeah. So they knew that I had some problems, but I was able to get the resources, and preschool was actually pretty fun. I can't believe I have memories from then, but I do. I have one memory of running around in the hallways and everything, and making arts and crafts and stuff. Even though I was terrible at it, it didn't matter because me and my friends, we just did it anyways. Kindergarten was kindergarten, but anyway, so elementary school was it was. I had a lot of resources to help me, because like I said, I had a lot of problems. I got in a lot of trouble. I'll admit, at first I was kind of a bully myself, and I'll explain why. It's not that like I had malintentions; it's that I had all this pent up energy, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I would spit. Like for example, if people were to have annoyed me, I would just fucking spit on them.
What?
Yeah, I got in trouble like all the time. I would just, if some idiot pissed me off, even at that young of an age, I would just spit on them, things like that. Or if somebody during recess was being annoying and like taking the ball from everybody, I would pick them up and slam them on the ground. It's not because I was malintended. It was because I just didn't know what to do with all this energy and what to do with all these things that were happening in my mind. So I would get in trouble a lot. In class, I wouldn't shut up. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So then people loved that. It was like entertaining for them. So they'd be like, "Hey, do that again." I'm like, "Okay," and I would do it again. But then eventually, my people caught wind of it. So then I eventually started going to psychiatrists and stuff. I also went to Taekwondo, which is martial arts for anybody who doesn't. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Taekwondo is. But that helped shape me up too, because it taught me discipline and integrity and all that stuff, and proper ways to channel the energy. So then I became a lot more docile. But then with the docileness came the opposite. The opposite. I had some problems getting in squabbles and stuff, but it was kind of the opposite now, where I started getting bullied because I was an easy target, because I was sensitive, but I was also very loud and present. So I was a very easy target for that shit. So
kids are assholes.
And kids are assholes, right? So I'm an easy target. So yeah, I got bullied a lot too, eventually, both physically and verbally, just because I was something. So it's different because you guys were Hispanic. For me, it was because I was an oddball. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was super atypical from everybody else. So they didn't know how to handle that. So what better way than to take advantage of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And yeah, so then middle school started, and that was a fucking miserable time. Middle school is just awful because I kind of grew even more apart from everything. I just didn't know where to fit in anywhere.
Were you on medication, by the way?
I think so. I think so, yeah. And I was also just really nervous and scared of the world. And it didn't help that, I love my mom, but it was just kind of hard growing up with her because she tried her best to help me, but at the same time, though, she just kind of reinforced that you're different, you're different, you're different, so we need to treat you differently. No, let me do that. Let me do that. So I didn't know what the fuck to do because every time I wanted to even breathe, no, I had somebody over on my back, jumping down my throat, telling me, no, you're not doing it right. Shut the fuck up. No, stop doing that.
Okay, she wouldn't say shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not saying her even specifically. I'm just saying that, that's how it felt. Is that,
So she didn't understand you.
Yeah, she and then nobody else pretty much around me because, I couldn't do anything right. And I'm leaving out a bunch of stuff. I'm just saying that
she's sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, but yeah, she's kind of a fucking nag.
Yeah.
I mean, especially on Joey, growing up. So Joey and I are 14 years apart for our dear listeners. And so my parents got divorced when I was 4, and my mom remarried my stepdad when I was...
I think you were 5.
7. Shut up. 7. Oh, 7 or... No, I was 9, I think.
Yeah, because...
I think I was 9.
Yeah, because your mom...
I think it was in 2000.
Your mom dated for a little while.
Yeah,
before
she dated other people.
Yeah.
And then she got remarried to my stepdad, which is Joey's dad. And then Joey was born when I was in 8th grade.
Okay, right.
So
there was a Southern Star.
Yeah.
So a lot of the, situations that I witnessed because I was older, and I do feel like we were close, even though...
Oh, we were always very close. And Jessica was always my backbone because I still do go to her place.
Yeah, because
to get
I
away
can
from
understand
it all.
and relate.
Yeah, and again, I'm leaving a lot of stuff out just because I'm not sure if I'm ready to dive that personally yet.
I think that's a subject for another episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I'm leaving out. But the main thing is that, I still, all 3 of us share in common the bullying thing because all the ways I was bullied. One story was, still in elementary school, getting tied up. This is one of the worst ones. Was these 2 kids.
Say their names.
Jordan and Robert. Fucking pieces of shit. One of them recently came up to me and apologized, and I did.
For real?
Yeah.
Was he 600 pounds?
No, but I forgave him because he was very genuine, and we eventually had some good times too once we kind of got older. He did apologize, and so I forgave him because it was genuine.
Right.
And it wasn't all just bad memories, but
you don't see that a lot though. I mean,
no, you don't,
No,
and it was genuine.
I mean,
it was genuine, and there were still some good memories there. There were still some good memories there, even though a lot of it was fucked up. And he even admitted that. He's like, I did some fucked up shit to you. I'm like, yeah, you did. But he was genuine, and I forgave him, especially since eventually, as time grew on and we both he got more mature, there eventually was some good times. But yeah, so that was one of the most traumatic incidents is when I got tied up to a fence for 5 minutes, and they would spray me with a hose and have a garden clipper and fucking play with it in front of my eyes for 5 minutes, and there were...
This was at school?
No, this was in the neighborhood.
Oh.
So it would be in the neighborhood and at school. And
Did they drop your pants?
Yeah, I would get pants and shit all the time.
Really?
Oh yeah. Again, I don't want to go into too many details because we can go on all fucking day.
Okay, where do these assholes live, and why didn't you tell me? I would have gone to their houses.
Well, we took care of it eventually.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's wrong with kids?
I know. So and then in middle school, especially in 6th grade, it didn't really change much. On the bus especially, because here's the thing, it was weird. For all the listeners, I don't care if you take this the wrong way. It's just facts. even though it was a very suburban community and there was some rich people, there was also a lot of people coming in from the city, especially from around where I lived. So there was a lot of ghetto trash coming in, and you know, since I was a squirrely, weird, fucking white kid, I was a very easy target for them. So that a lot of the people that
You're a black belt.
yeah, but I was also a scared, nervous, little neurotic kid, so I didn't have a voice. Like nowadays, people don't. I'm not trying to sound cringy, but like people don't like to fuck with me like that anymore because they know that that's a bad idea.
You get a black belt.
Well, it's not even that. It's like just they just know it's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to know why. I want to know why.
You're loud.
I'm loud. I have a chip on my shoulder, and I've been through it before, so I want to see you try. You know what I mean? And they know that now. Whoever would even think about it. So, but yeah, so middle school, it carried on through. I did not fit in anywhere. 7th grade, I started developing jadedness. So then I actually eventually kind of found my group, and you know, we got along pretty well. And then 8th grade, I kind of started finding a little bit of my voice. And it became a little bit better. It was a very awkward time, but it started getting better because the bullying was kind of just like stereotypical shit that everybody goes through, and it became fine, and it became okay. High school, honestly, I fucking hated high school for so many reasons. I mean, my junior year was when the pandemic started, first of all.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's right.
So that was unbearable. I'm sorry.
Because you had to be at home.
Oh my God, yeah, it was just me and my mom, and we can get into that in another episode. I love you, Mom, but that was hell on earth. But yeah, even like before the pandemic started, I really didn't like it all that much. I mean, I have some decent memories, but I still hated it because again, I didn't fucking fit in. I went to Wienerville South High School, and it's a very big school, and it's a public school, but it's a very big school. And, you know, you have...
kids were in your grade?
Oh, my God. Easily over 500.
I thought it was like 1,200.
It was probably like 1,200, yeah.
So you get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, you got lost in the shuffle. Not just in the hallways, but just with, you know, it was so big, but somehow everybody knew every fucking thing about you. It was so weird. It's like, even though it was so big, it was still such a small world. And, you know, it was interesting because it was one of those really, like, superstitious or, like, tight-knit high schools where you had to be perfect. You had to have money. You had to have talent. You had to have connections in order to be something. And that went for even like the artsy part of the school. Even for like the arts and all that shit. So even though, you know, like I was into the arts and everything, I didn't even belong there because it was the most...
Like, huzzah.
Yeah, it was huzzah. It was like... it was like the same thing, but you know, even in that community. So it's like I didn't fucking fit in anywhere. I didn't know where to go. I was like a mascot to people. Even like people that I thought were my friends, they would do so much shit behind my back and spread so many rumors, but they couldn't do it to my face. So I would walk into the room and the room would go silent. You know, that kind of shit. I just didn't fit in anywhere. And even like my friends who I thought were my friends, it's like, I don't know. I look back at it now, and I think some of it was that they were intimidated because they cared so much about what people thought of them, and I didn't. Yeah. So a lot of it was probably intimidation, but a part of it was also, again, I was an easy target. I was very, very susceptible to it because I was so sensitive and so, you know, present in the moment.
What I can say about Joey is that he has always been very emotionally mature for his age.
Yeah.
And you've always had a understanding of other people, and also, and I think it gives into your anxieties, and also like because you do care, like you care very little, but it still affects you.
Absolutely, it does.
And you internalize a lot.
I do internalize a lot, and it also didn't help too that like. You know, like, I got along with certain people, I got along with certain teachers, but it doesn't help where, like, you don't feel like no, I didn't have a voice. All the people that I was around were fake as hell. So it's like, where do you go to, you know, when you're just, like, the odd man out, kind of like what you guys are saying. Again, I was white, and it was actually a pretty diverse school. It was a very diverse school. There was...
like 1,200 kids.
Yeah, there was everybody, and from all different walks of life, but they all knew each other, and... It was just so gossip filled, and I also was just, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, you know, for example, even with like relationships, you know, with girls and stuff, like I didn't know how to act. I just got way too excited, so then I acted the fool and shit, and everybody talked about it, kind of thing too. Like that's for an example, where like you know I kind of made a fool of myself, but everybody knew about it. You know, again, you make one mistake, everybody knows about it.
Yeah, it's because kids are assholes.
Yeah, but like for real. But another thing is that like you know I wanted to you know I was really into the arts, but like you know it's just like you couldn't even do that because everyone was just so fucking full of themselves because it was just that like you know suburban.
It was like play ukulele of Heart of Gold, the 21 Pilots song. It was like that was the
exactly. And then like you know the theater department, give me a fucking break. They were so full of themselves and they somehow were like on the hierarchy. And again, this is part of the reason why I hate high school is because it's all about just hierarchy. And it's like such a small world. Like none of that shit's gonna matter, and it doesn't matter because ever since I've left high school, I mean, shit's still heading the fan, but I've never been happier. Like going to college and things.
Do you feel like COVID impacted you because a lot of like good memories happen senior year for?
Oh yeah, it definitely impacted it because junior and senior year was when I started kind of finding my niche and my people, and even like the people who you know talked all this smack about me and shit. They started liking me. You know? They started not liking me, but at least like viewing me with respect in some sort of way. But either way though, I didn't really want the respect because I thought that they were all a joke. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. Like, you guys realize that none of this is gonna matter. You know, there's this big world out there, and there's way cooler things than this fucking white bread ass community. And even though like it was Filipino, Black, Asian, Indian, Mexican, white, you know, whatever, all the races. It was still, I still call it white knit because that was still the culture of like being the best, being the most talented, being the most rich, being the most swag or whatever the fuck kind of stupid ass terms you know motherfuckers want to call it now. It's it's pathetic how it's just one way or the other. And
well, there goes our all ages show.
yeah, it's just terrible. I just hated it with a burning passion. Every time I think about it, it makes me just disgusted because it's just.
But do you think people didn't want to approach you because you had a chip on your shoulder and you're?
Yeah, I mean the chip on my shoulder was still getting discovered. It's not as big as it is now, but.
Well, at what point did you start dressing like you?
Oh, that's a good question. I think when I started developing my own mentality, my own style was honestly probably like in a sophomore, early junior year.
So I mean, high school.
Yeah. So then obviously people saw that and said, okay, this guy's
Yeah, that's when I started kind of being me. Because a lot of that was also my mom. And again, I love you, Mom, but she was very controlling. And so a lot of like the way I showed myself was like her creation. You know,
what do you mean?
Like I was kind of like her boy.
Frank and Joey?
Yeah, literally Frank and Joey because it wasn't me yet. It was her version of me. So
she wanted to I mean, let's preface this by kind of saying, all right, she's in theater and all that.
Right.
Did she want you to go into that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. She wanted to be.
So she
wanted me to be like the boy version of her, and that's not how this shit works. I'm Joey fucking Baker.
But you did enjoy doing that stuff.
I did at first,
at the time.
No, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't even the theater part. It was like the personality.
Oh yeah.
And like my
to become something.
Like my own person. Yeah. You know, like.
Were you trying to make her happy?
I think I didn't know any better. I think I was so like in that mindset because of what I was getting fed that I didn't know any better. So.
Okay, but to be fair, every parent does what they know with their kid.
Right. But with her, it was different though because it was like, no, you really need to be this. And I didn't know any better. So I think that was part of the reason why I was so nervous and so scared is because I didn't know what to think yet. Because so many thoughts that you can't understand yet, but you don't know what to do with them. Mm-hmm. I'm still confused, but I know what to do with them now. Like I'm proud of I'm happy with who I am now overall. I mean, yeah, I'm still.
You also had like 2 decades of therapy and resources to try and
therapy really helped. Yeah, therapy helped. And again, I love my mom. She did a lot of good things. I'm just saying that like, it's just
Well, you know, here's the fun thing. Okay, because you're talking about therapy, and you had when we were kids, when we were growing up.
There's no therapy. There's no
didn't have any of
resources.
that.
No,
We
you
didn't
didn't have
have
any
any
of
of
this shit.
That's
We had to
a
deal.
topic for another.
Yeah,
episode.
it's a topic for
Mental
another. But we had to deal.
Yeah.
You know, and trust me, the stuff that I had to go through was.
Oh, that sounds terrible. No, it sounds fucking awful. And that's like something that I'm really graced with is the fact that I had therapy and even like the taekwondo thing saved me because I would think about the route that I would have gone down. I would have ended up in juvie. I would have ended up, I don't know, a bad streak.
Never say never, you know.
Well, that's it for today's show. It was a hot topic.
Yeah.
It was a hot topic. But yeah, so any final.
Kids are assholes.
Yeah, I mean,
bullies.
it's you know, it's not just kids. It's the parents, it's the teachers.
Yeah.
That kind of like shape all of us. And when I was growing up, they did a horrible job of shaping me. Okay. And for Jessica, what was it like?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Okay.
It's
So-
awkward because you're my dad, so it's like I don't want to make you feel bad or.
No, you
anything.
can. I mean, remember, I'm independent, right?
Yeah,
So,
well.
So I did a terrible job as a parent.
No, but I think there was missed opportunities for you to be more involved,
Right.
and
Because I was working.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you kind of left me at your sister's
Right.
and parents' house when my mom was a perfectly able parent, and
Well, remember when we got divorced, there was a lot of stuff going on when we got divorced, and I was like, I'm never going to do this again. I bought a motorcycle. I took off and did my own thing.
that's a whole lot
while.
of what you thought, but you
Yeah.
didn't really think about what the
Right.
child was going
Right,
through.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I was selfish in the way I was thinking back then. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I regret a lot of that because I didn't spend a lot of time. That's why now, you know, as I got out of that phase back then, I tried to spend as much time, but I also had work, and I spent a lot of time at work, which, you know, with everything that's going on in today's world, it's just
Yeah.
fucked up.
Hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think everybody has regrets. Even if you're the perfect parent out there,
Hmm.
you're not the perfect parent.
No.
You know, there's always going to be things that you should have done better, things that you should.
No one's perfect.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's.
And I kind of feel bad. I shouldn't, like, about my mom. Like, I do love her, and I know I kind of probably sounded spoiled because I'm leaving a lot of details out on purpose because there's no point in bringing that stuff up. It's not all about me, but there's no point in bringing it up, especially for this episode.
Right.
I was just saying that, like, again, I'm leaving a lot of things out, but I'm just saying that, like, I think one of the main problems that I had, because I had a lot of good resources, I had a lot of teachers that were my heroes. I loved a lot of my teachers because they loved me and I loved them.
Yeah. You had a lot of good.
I had a lot of good resources, but part of the reason why I hated high school so much is because I had no control. There was no control. There was no voice.
That is so typical though of high school.
Right.
I know.
Because you're in between maturity level where you
Right.
think you can do more than you actually can. You're starting to drive. You're starting.
Oh,
to
I
have
wasn't
friends
allowed
that-
to though. I couldn't even go to fucking driving lessons, and
That's true.
and
Why?
because my mom refused.
What?
Yeah. See, this is what I was talking about. She meant the best, but she was very controlling.
So you know how like people when they feel like their life is out of control, they center in on an aspect of their life that they can't control.
That's what my mom is, literally, and I love her. I love her very much. But
Yeah.
that was part of the problem with growing up with her is that like it was her way or the highway. And you know, so I would go out into the world. I felt I was just confused. I have all these thoughts. I'm different from everybody around me. I don't know why. I want to be different, but I don't. I know at the same time. Why am I so different? Why do I feel like I don't have any control over everything I do? I can't go anywhere unless I'm with somebody else. But I don't want to be with somebody else necessarily. So it's just like that's part of the reason why I hated high school so much is because it would just be a constant strain of just not feeling like I belonged there and also feeling like I was like the nuisance in the room where like I was holding everybody back. Like even my first job, everyone at the job hated me because I just couldn't do it. I didn't know what to do. I had no motor skills.
We're going to have to continue this another.
Yeah, that should be the next topic.
Yeah.
Is jobs because
Motor skills.
Motor skills.
yeah, so that was just my main problem. It's just I just didn't feel like I had a voice, and I mean I know it's typical, but like for me it was especially that I just felt lost, confused, and I didn't feel like I had no control at all.
Yeah. A lot of high schoolers feel that way. I just want to say, I think
they do for a reason.
Yeah, because I mean,
this show could go on forever.
Yeah,
because we could talk about. I mean, I left out a lot of stuff that.
Yeah.
Me too.
But I guess we'll have to do it another time. Thank you for listening. This was Jen Is Us podcast. You can catch us anywhere on.
Catch me outside, bitch. How about that?
Go to genisisus.com, and that's what I and all our social media, Instagram, TikTok, whatever is out there, and go to our website, quantummediaproductions.com, which will also host our podcast, and then we're also going to be on Buzzsprout, which is a platform that goes out to everybody.
What about Apple Music?
It is. It's going to be on Apple.
Spotify.
So if you have any questions you want us to answer in the future, that you want answers to, you want 3 different generational opinions, we're it.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Catch us next time. Our episode next time is going to be, we don't know yet.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to keep it a surprise.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, listeners.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Jen Is Us podcast. Make sure to subscribe everywhere podcasts are available and follow us on our Instagram and YouTube at Jen Is Us podcast. We want to hear from you, the listeners. Send us any feedback or questions that you would like 3 generations to answer at contact@genisisus.com. Thank you.